Marvel Studios' first TV series WandaVision is almost with us, and after a grueling 2020 of no MCU content, many of us are looking forward to what 2021 has to bring, with tons of MCU content starting to roll out with WandaVision. Now, if you thought we were going to leave 2020 behind, it seems like that's not going to happen right away, as some of that chaos is apparently transitioning over into the TV series. So when it comes to WandaVision and the entire scope and scale of the TV series, how small and how big it's eventually going to get according to Marvel Studios, we really have no idea, and we just have to take them at their word for it. Now recently, speaking with SFX Magazine, was WandaVision showrunner Jace Sheffer, who talks a little bit about the approach to the Disney Plus series. And she does take some time out of all of this to talk about some of the production details behind WandaVision and what they specifically had to bring into the series. Now, while she doesn't obviously go into all the spoilery details and anything like that, she does specifically say that Marvel Studios' WandaVision is, and I quote, a reflection of a lot of the anxiety and chaos that the world has experienced in the past year. Now, I've seen some people say that they don't want the real world represented in a way like this because the MCU, right? It should take us away from the world, and I don't think that's necessarily exactly what she's saying. Like, try to hear me out here for a second. The MCU went through its own version of, oh my god, this is a horrific world event, when 5 years went by and half the population in the universe was snapped away then brought back. There was this low time where everything seemed like it was out. Everybody had given up and started to move on in a new direction. That's sort of where we are at as humanity. We're patiently waiting to see what the next step is that's going to bring more light in the distance, and hopefully we all get to it together. There is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of things going on in the world, specifically the last year plus really now at this point, that's just been one thing after another that's constantly on the news. Things are happening. The world is slowly going into more and more chaos, and we really saw this peak in 2020. Saying that there's going to be something like that reflected in this is sort of naturally part for the course, because you always sort of have to acknowledge what's happening. Now, I don't think she's outright saying, as some people are saying, oh, they're going to be walking around telling me to wear a mask and all that. That's not what she's saying. That's 100% not what they're saying. They're just saying that you're going to see something like that in this. Like, I'm not sure if anybody here that's watching us has watched Watchmen, for example, or Lovecraft Country, but those shows deal with things happening in the real world. Even though they're shows that aren't necessarily set in the real world per se, their take on it, but they deal with issues that have been prevalent throughout the last 100+ years, and specifically a reflection of today. So them saying, yeah, we're gonna reflect the chaos from 2020 in our show is really not a surprise, because as we look at the planet, pretty much every year it's just getting worse and worse. So yeah, you're gonna reflect that in some way. That's really not a surprise.